pocket.
So over the years, I've made quite a few videos, but this one was easily my biggest and most difficult production yet. So let's kind of talk about some of the challenges that I faced and break down everything about this project. So just to get a little bit of backstory as to how I actually obtained the client, my girlfriend and I had moved to a new town last year and we were looking for food, saw this place on Google and decided to try it out. Been going pretty much weekly ever since, and after about a month of consistently good food, I decided I'd check out their Instagram. Saw it needed a little bit of love. It clearly wasn't prioritized as the food was, understandably. So I shot him a DM and said, hey, I'd love to shoot some photos for you guys. Since I already had some confidence in my photo skills, I knew I could provide at least that, since I'm just now getting into the video side of things. Probably the next day, I got a response from him saying, yeah, I'd love to have you over. Went probably a week later and shot some photos and just had conversation with him, got to know the owner and talk about business, things like that. And we really hit it off, really sick, nice guy. So I just call him sick. I told him, hey, if you need some videos done in the future, hit me up. I'm your guy. And about 2 weeks went by, he hit me up and said, hey, I want to do a video. And I went and had a meeting with him to kind of discuss his ideas and what he wanted to do. He was coming out with these party trays for his wings, and it was right around the time of the Super Bowl. So I figured, hey, what better way to incorporate wings than in a Super Bowl party? So he liked the idea. We kind of went from there. He gave me the things he wanted to include, being like a Peter Griffin and chicken fight. So I kind of got a couple ideas together, gave him a little bit of a storyboard, the shots that I kind of had in mind, and he loved it, gave me creative control from there. So I just had to go and start looking for locations and talents. Now, this was unexpectedly the hardest part of the process. I knew that it was going to require having to find a location, which we were going to do an indoor, obviously a party. I wanted to have somewhere you walked in through the front door, it was open, we could have like a table or like a counter or something like that with a TV on in the background to play like football or something like that. Took a long time of sifting through Peerspace, Airbnb, sending people messages asking if I could use their property and getting told no, reaching out to real estate agents that I knew, all sorts of shit. I mean, I tried it all to find a location, and I finally was able to find one that was somewhat central for everyone. All of my talents were friends I went to high school with, so they were all still in the area, just spread out like a town or two apart. So I didn't want to make anyone drive like over an hour. That was one of the challenges. And then the second was, of course, getting a confident yes from everyone that they wanted to participate and be a part of it, but trying to figure out what worked with everyone's schedule, because obviously we're all 20-some-year-olds trying to figure out life. We're working, businesses, stuff like that. Schedules weren't very flexible. However, I was able to get a Monday at noon that kind of worked out for everyone. So I went over, met with the Airbnb owner that I had found on the website, but decided, hey, let's take things offline, because she could only do a 2-day minimum, but I wasn't paying for 2 days for 3 hours at most of video shooting. We only needed 2 shots in the location, so I wasn't ready to pay $1,000-some for this location with a $500 video budget. So we went, I met with her over top of the city, you know, felt like a big business mogul, but it was just one of her other like office buildings, and talked about it. She said, hey, I can get this date for you. So once I got a confident yes from all my friends that they were willing to come by on a Monday at noon, we booked the Airbnb, and I got the gear that I needed. I got myself a slider and this light, some other stuff. I got a lens adapter for this lens I'm currently using. It's an old vintage lens, and all sorts of stuff that I needed for the shoot to be able to actually produce what we are looking for. The Airbnb location was the only one I could find, just so happened to have black walls, and I didn't have enough time to really test any of my lighting setups or any of my gear or anything like that, because I had to bring all the talents back up and down the stairs, get everyone into the actual location, all sorts of stuff I had to deal with the day of shooting. So I really didn't get to focus in on actual shooting, trying to organize all of my talents and everything along those lines. So as you'll see here, the first shot that I kind of had the talents walking in, it was just way too dark. I didn't even have my light set up for it. It was all the way in the back opposite corner of the location. I mean, absolutely, I flopped it. We kind of just had to scratch that shot and redo things, kind of rewrite the story halfway through, kind of like I had to do with my last project. So I'm starting to learn. It might be a common theme in video creation, but I'll kind of break down the edit and show you guys exactly what we did actually settle on from there. Fairly simple edit, like I said, but I did pay a fair bit of attention to the sound design. But I'll kind of show you exactly what I did with each shot. This first one here, I just had the camera on a slider, moving sideways with the motion that he was running. As you can see here, it's literally my tripod head. I didn't even move it. I'm so dumb. And I probably could have kept this shot static. I think I probably would have liked him more if I shot it static. So going forwards, I'll just remember, hey, if I have a weird movement that I want to try out, I'm just going to shoot it static as well in case it doesn't work out. So you see him running, goes to frame, and he runs into Peter Griffin. Watch it, pal. And then he punches him in the face, kind of emulates, hey, he's knocking on the door. It was going to be a little bit different, so it was going to kind of come out like from the door. As you can see, kind of like a little bit of a flash transition, kind of like, you know, he's being stunned, like he's punched in the face. And it was going to, the camera was going to be literally like the peephole, right? And pull out and then whip over and show all the talent. But it was just such limited space within the location and actually like where we needed to be, that it just wouldn't have worked out that way. So I just had to kind of shoot it from a weird angle. I mean, it includes the fucking sink here. Like, it was that weird of an angle that this is the best I could do. And of course I can move the sink out of the way. So I did have it just static here. And I had to edit. You can see here, where's the clip? You can see the position. I had to keyframe the positioning to slide over, because like I said, I shot it horizontally, and then he said he wanted it edited vertically. And then this next one here, this was going to be where the second shot, this was initially the second shot. The first one that I showed you previously in the video is going to transition into this, and the middle talent was going to pause and be like, oh, the wings. But unfortunately, I didn't realize that I had the wing set right in front of the camera. Didn't even have it off to the side. So I kind of just had to stick with it. I couldn't like, hey, we forgot the wings, and the wings are right here in the video. So I just kind of had to roll with it, freeze framed, and just kind of zoomed in a little bit, positioning real slow as it showed his logo. Had like a Gaussian blur effect going on. You can see those are the logo and the text, but had a little bit of a Gaussian blur going on, and then just cuts straight to Peter Griffin stunned on the ground. That's actually my uncle, and these are the hands of Chris, also my cousin, being like, hey dad, are you all right? That was actually Romeo's idea at the end to kind of include Chris here, but yeah, we had him sitting on the ground like, oh, he got knocked out, and I found this little motion graphic, he framed or color keyed the green out, and called it a day. It was red, yellow, and white, just like the Just Winging It colors. So it worked. And we kept it in there. Total video was approximately 19.5 seconds long. So again, very simple video, very simple edit, and I really enjoyed the whole process overall. I would love to do it 10 times over again, and I am hoping to do so, considering Romeo and I do have plans to work on future projects. So look forward to those getting broken down on the channel in the future. Check out my Instagram for some behind the scenes when I am working on these types of projects. I'll give you guys a little bit more of an intimate look there as to what's actually going on, and you'll see the final products end up here. So check me out on Instagram at HDG Graceless, and make sure you subscribe for all future breakdowns. I hope you have a great rest of your day and stay safe.